Yeah.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Hello. What's up?
Welcome.
Thursday.
I know it's Thursday. We're streaming. Life is good. Life is beautiful. We're punching.
We're punching here on Thursday.
For sure. Okay, so welcome back to a Surfing Spatial. This is a special episode, guys. This is for the launch of Punch Hero, which is the first game in a series of 3 being released by Spatial. And we have one of the lovely devs that worked on this game. Alan is here today. I'm Hawa, for those of you that don't know. I run the social media at Spatial, and I'll let everybody introduce themselves. Starting with...
Doing support of Spatial.
As you guys know, Jack.
What's up, everybody? Jake here. Good to see everybody. Ready to get my punch on.
Random dude. We don't know who he is. He's here.
You don't know me. You don't know me. You know me. Head of community at Spatial. Thrilled to be here, ready to give my avatar more exercise than I get in real life.
Punching through the week.
We are.
What's up, Alan? Who are you?
What's up? I'm Alan. Developer at Spatial. Make toolkit stuff.
Hello.
Dope games.
Making
Dope
cool
stuff.
things.
Hello.
Yes, guys. So this is Punch Hero. Many of you guys that were in the beta testing level or kind of phase of this, which is awesome. Oh my god, that is so loud. I don't think you can hear
I got
all
a way to turn it down.
First thing we're going to do is I'm going to throw the link to Punch Hero in the chat of the stream. So if you're watching and you haven't played it yet, click it and go and play.
We have Unreality here, Adjective Beaver's here, Tyrone is in the building. Hello, friends. Definitely join Punch Hero. It's loads of fun. I definitely want to talk through how this game came to be. Using our creator toolkit that is, for those of you that don't know, is built on Unity. I'll let Jake kind of talk a little bit more about that. And I definitely want to dive into the UI, which Alan built, and these cute dragons that you guys see as well. So Alan, I don't know if you want to give a high level view of what Punch Hero is and what the goals of the game are.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just an idle clicker where you train your strength up and then you punch through walls and then you collect keys and stuff to open chests and then get these pets you see on the screen and then you punch harder and then you get more keys and then you get stronger and then you buy more pets and then you punch more walls.
Simple as that. It's obviously a pretty simple game, but it's so much fun to play, and I've heard so many people talk about how addictive it is. Also, games don't have to be super complex to be fun. And I think Punch Hero is a perfect example of that. As you can tell, you can just be dancing with dragons if that's your vibe. If you want to punch a wall, do that. If you want to punch a bag, do that. It's incredible. It's lots of fun. I do want to kind of hop into the UI. This obviously looks a little bit different than what traditional Spatial looks like. So Alan, if you want to kind of talk about some of the tools you used in the creator toolkit to build these, and also from a higher level as well, what inspires good UI, what were some of your design choices, etc., etc.
Yeah, so I mean, so the way the UI, Jesus.
Don't
The way the UI works is just like Unity UI canvases. So in the toolkit, you can anywhere on the screen you can right click and then make a UI panel. But we did 2 different versions. So right here, Jake is at a chest which has this world space canvas that you can click on and stuff. But then on the left side of the screen are all these screen space canvases, which are like more complicated UIs where you actually have to like scroll through them and like click on things. And there's like a tons of buttons, and there's like a pet screen, which has like all these pets from your inventory that are drawn out, and you can like scroll around and click on them, and it's like sorted and stuff. So, I mean, as far as like, yeah, I mean, and then also recently Wonky worked on porting the UI to mobile. So one of the hard parts about like game development is like a desktop and a phone, like just you like can't make the same game on both of them. So, and like the UI just like won't fit. So we have basically two completely unique UIs, one for desktop, one for mobile. We just like when the game loads, if you're on mobile, we show the mobile one. And so,
yeah, that's a good point to make. You know, building for different platforms is obviously something that's super familiar for Spatial, as we're you know, accessible on web, mobile, and sort of VR. But I totally like resonate with that and think that that's really cool and something that like isn't always part of the process. Like sometimes people are just building for one platform, and that's something to consider if you're building for mobile as well. And like, you know, what might work on mobile might not work well on web, and what like might work well on web might not work well on mobile. So that's really insightful, and I kind of like am wanting to know more about kind of like the core loop as well, like with the dragons, because I know you kind of had like a hand in building like the pet system here. So are the pets like kind of part of like a retention thing? Are they like, you know, like what was kind of like the goal with that part of the project?
so yeah, it's like in an idle game like this, sort of the way the games work is like you basically have like, if you think of like line graph, you have like one graph that's like, or one you have a goal and you're like approaching that goal, and then you need a mechanic that like increases the speed at which you approach that goal, if that makes any sense. So it's like the idea of like this sort of game design is that like it makes you feel like you're getting stronger at a rate that's like always increasing. So like if you were to continue playing the game, you would just like infinitely get stronger until like, you know, the game, you have infinite power or whatever. And so
like not having a cap basically is what you're saying.
Yeah. And like if you just had like, if you didn't have the pets in the game, it would just be like you punch the bag until you, and then you punch the wall, and you punch the bag and punch the wall. And that's like, that's really boring. And it's also like, there's no, like, you can't strategize at all. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to get to this point, punch this many times, and then hit the wall. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So you just need something that like makes you progress the game. And pets is just like, I don't know, people like pets.
Cute. People love pets. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's like the pets are the goal to get the dragons like maxed out. I feel like that's like one of those end goals for the game. That's how I would feel like most accomplished. I
think it's just more. I think we mistitled this game. It's more like Dragon Hero than Punch Hero. I'm just all in it for the dragons than the punching walls at this point. Like just like look at my crew, we're rolling up. Like don't mess with us.
It is really cute. The dragons are so cute.
They are very cute. Yeah.
I think I kind of want to know. I kind of like am interested now. Like, what's like another example of like an idle game? Like, how many like categories are there? Like, are there like a few main ones that are like, okay, we should obviously
Have you heard of Cookie Clicker, Hawa?
Huh?
Have you heard of Cookie Clicker?
No, what is that?
That's I feel like an OG clicker game, but I don't know.
Yeah, Cookie Clicker kind of started this sort of trend of like clicker games, idle games, but other notable ones are like Clicker Heroes, Adventure Capitalist, Paper Clips, and then there's like on like the iOS App Store, there's probably like a million of these. Like they're really easy to make and stuff, so they're really popular.
Yeah, because I'm like, I mean, obviously like Punch Wall Simulator and things like that, but I'm thinking like, what are like the other categories? Like, I don't know if this is like a dumb question, but like, what are like, that's obviously like a type of game, but like, what are like probably like the most popular ones? And like, are we like planning on like building in different arenas, or like are idle games like mostly for like retention? Like what would make that like something that's successful? Also, you guys, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat, and we'll be happy
You mean like
to answer them.
different idle games or different games in general?
Like different games in general, like that serve different purposes in that like way. Like idle games, I would think were probably for retention, right?
Yeah, and I mean, people enjoy them. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, when you make a game,
Fun
like the
grind.
goal is people play it, and they like. If you're trying to make money, they play it as long and spend as much money on it as possible. So, in one sense, we're like that's the goal, and the other sense is like, make fun games that are interesting, or unique games and stuff.
Original.
So I mean, if you want me to
Altered
go through all the
Alice
genres of video games, we might be here for a few hours.
Yeah, there's lots of types of games. Yeah.
Altered
MMOs, you probably heard us talk about a little bit recently, and also, our RPGs, FPS games, platformer games, like those are just some. Right? Like, do any of those ring a bell?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm like definitely MMO, like platformer games, but I'm like, it's just like I've just been learning a lot about like, especially like on the last stream with like Tara, and like just kind of like how specific these things can get. I think it's just kind of interesting and kind of like touch on those like higher level like topics. And while I was thinking about that, Altered Alley was like, when can we punch each other?
That's what we all want at the end of the day, is to just virtually punch each other.
I mean,
really
like
do
in
want,
actual response to that
Well, I just
question,
started-
like when can we have like PvP games? Like, so
Sorry,
right
music
now
started
we're
playing in, the
we're
headset.
in general just like trying to make
Games.
games, and like we're intentionally avoiding like PvP. Like you don't punch other people in Punch Wall right now because we wanted to like make sure it's like impossible to not be able to play the game. So like if you make a PvP game, you need other people to play it, but you don't need anyone else to play Punch Hero. So
Right. You don't. It's very simple game. But it's loads of fun and it's super addicting. And I think like that kind of just like proves like a strong like game loop. Like this is fun. I'll keep playing it.
Yeah, we'll have to have at some point Jake go through like all the levels too, once he's like back on, see all the different environments and zones, because like that was a cool part of it when I was playing it, going from like stage to stage, having the lighting change and the whole different vibe to each little area was nice. And like I thought that was a cool progression when I was first going through it. Cool part of the whole progression.
Well, I think it's really cool. Like each space has its own like unique vibe and feel to it too, which is really, really cool. Like going to each area, like I went through. I'm sorry, I'm just like killing all these walls right now. Let me get this key.
Yeah, I was like, is this like repeating, like, or like, are you actually doing this?
This is the idle thing. I just hit auto punch, and I've just got so much strength already at this point that I'm just like burying through the walls. But like if you go, like I go back into the cemetery area, and it's got this like spooky vibe, and then I come back over here, and it's gonna get this like kind of fall vibes, like it's going through the seasons and stuff. Like it's really really awesome, and that's done for people who want to know. That's and I think Alan, tell me how you worked on the game, but that's just using like box volumes in each area to give different vibes.
I think we actually have a question on that. How do you get that kind of progressive lighting? Jack, I don't know if you want to click it so people can see it. The question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to touch on this, Jake or Alan.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically, what Jake said, like, it is just volumes. Like, you have a post-processing volume, and in one place you have like a color adjustment that makes it look like blue, and the next one it looks low orange. But yeah, it's just a built-in Unity feature. You can just basically drop it into your scene. And
yeah, if you were for people who watched our stream with Wonky a couple weeks ago, he touched on that a little bit also. And if you check out, we just put out last week the new sample project that anyone can download, the camera mode sample that actually has like a small like box volume. When you go into first person mode, the first person view in that sample, I put in a little volume, like post processing volume, so you get like these like cool effects and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just using that It's basically you walk into a box in Unity, and you have these different effects and stuff. It's pretty cool. Like, yeah, this space is like so much brighter. It just makes each space like feel unique, and I want to just like look around more and spend more time in these different areas. And it takes on a whole new vibe. I mean, not to spoil like too much, but like when you go through like the next area, there's like all different vibes. Like the second
I know.
zone, which is pretty
I feel like
cool.
it makes an experience like way more dynamic.
I actually just checked, and in this game, it's not just like post-processing volumes. Wonky also, like, when you enter a zone, we alert like a script that's like, I'm in zone 1, and then we like change the skybox to something, and like the fog and the lighting color all gets changed. So it's not just post-processing; it's also like the actual lighting, fog and stuff.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, the skybox looks different. That's dope.
Ooh, confetti.
All that like attention to detail is pretty cool. I mean, this is like a huge map too. Like for a spatial space, like if I just pop out into like filming mode here, like let's just get like this view here of like how big this is. This is only the first half here. Second half is somewhere over the mountain far away. But this is just absolutely.
What?
This is just absolutely massive.
I did not realize how big Frontier was.
Yeah, I remember like in Spatial, like the OG days of Spatial, like when we first started doing virtual environments, like they were like really small. Like if you look at some of the free templates that we have on, like that you can create a space with, like the lounge and stuff like that, like they were like almost like a small apartment size that you can do. And now like we have literally like these like vast landscapes, which is pretty crazy. So that's really, it's a cool like top down view. You get to see like, I see some other people over there running around punching walls.
I think we have another question too, from Vladimir. Hey, it looks really complex. How did you fit like within the scene limitations?
Let me check.
Lots of optimizing. Lots of.
If you want to click the question, Jack, so people can see it.
Yep. And then I have a question after.
Yeah, like how was the level set up to be so huge and still performing? Yeah, there's like another question on that.
Okay, so I can't actually pull up like the vitals to get the numbers, but in general the numbers are like really high because like the way the like we like cull different parts of the scene. So like a second ago, Jake was like had a really high view and he didn't know where the second half of the levels were, but they were actually right in front of him. They were just hidden because when you're in like one half of the stage, we hide the rest of it. So that big like black splotch on the ground, that's where all the second levels are, but we hide them when you're not there. And then like you can see
I see people down there.
And then one thing is there's no light maps in this space because there's just like it's too big and like there'd be too many light maps. So everything is just real time lit. For the most part, like all the meshes are instant. So like all those trees are just like the same tree model, copy and pasted. So they all get put into one draw call. And then the ground is just one environment with like a few textures painted. But yeah, I mean, getting it running well took a while, but yeah.
Well, hope that answers the question. Jack, you said you had one.
Yeah.
In this case, we did do like manual culling. So in general in Unity, there's like frustrum culling and occlusion culling, and we didn't use occlusion culling because I don't know if we even support it yet, but yeah. So
nice.
Did you work on any of the auras like with the power-ups for like running around faster and stuff too, or are you just on the dragons?
I mean,
like I have the flash thing that like just leaves sparks behind me.
Yeah, I think Wonky did all that.
That is okay. All right, we'll ask Wonky about that later then.
Wonky the master.
One thing I did do was when you break a wall, there's like this sweet like animation of it getting destroyed. And that's like a Blender physics simulation. So in Blender, you can just like make a cube and just like cut it up into pieces. And then you just like add physics to all the pieces and then smash them against the wall or whatever. And then you can like bake that to a keyframe and then bring it into the game. And then
did you do the same thing for Infinite Ascent, like when you die?
No, that's all like real time
Okay,
simulation.
gotcha. Like all the
I
bones
noticed-
splattering.
I
Yeah,
noticed
'cause
how
if you were to like break these walls into pieces and simulate them inside Unity, like you just break it and it wouldn't work, and everyone would crash. But this runs just fine.
How are you handling like knowing when someone's like punching a wall versus like I can walk up to it, it's not being punched versus like I know like if I click on it, then I'm punching it. Like is there like an interactable there or like how is
What?
that?
Wait. When you click on it, you're punching it.
Well, I right click and I punch. Like how it knows when I'm punching to break like I'm standing next to the wall and it breaks it versus and I punch it and it breaks it versus I'm just like standing next to it.
Yeah.
And
So
how are we detecting punches?
to like make your character punch, either like you press F or something and the punch will happen, or there's like auto punch, so you'll just like punch every so many seconds. In terms of like actually detecting to hit something, I didn't write this, but I assume it's like when you're next to the wall, there's like a trigger on the wall, and when you get up to it, it's like you tell some system I am at this wall, and then when you punch, the punch event goes to that wall and says like take damage. So basically, if you're next to something, you're like connected kind of, and you're talking to that thing. If you're not next to it, you're not talking to it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So you have to be in proximity of it and then listening for like the punch like button input basically.
Yep.
Got it.
I think there's also another question from the audience from Chaz. Are there any plans for new levels on Punch Hero?
People are already thirsty for new levels.
I know. We just launched it. But we do have 2 more games in this first like series. There could be upgrades, but we are also working on some new things coming out soon as well. So that's also exciting. But I don't know if there's any plans for immediate new levels on Punch Hero, but I could be wrong. Maybe Jake or Alan has a better answer for that.
So I mean, for new levels right now, there aren't any currently under development, but there are a lot of new games under development at Spatial. If you're following Alan on Twitter, you see he's been teasing his new game that's coming out soonish on Spatial, and there's a whole bunch of other games under development at Spatial. Plus, there's two other games of Spatial coming out in the next 2 weeks: Infinite Ascent and Racing Empire, and then later. Probably more September, October. There'll be a few more games coming out on Spatial that are like even. I mean, Punch Hero is like incredible, but these games are going to be like next level. It's going to be really, really awesome. So there'll be like tons more games and like achievements and stuff to play on Spatial like really, really soon.
Yes. Hope that
Stay
answers
tuned,
your question,
everybody.
Jazz.
I am going ham with these gloves here. I'm going like Super Saiyan punching right now.
I'm surprised we haven't talked about the magic gloves yet.
Oh, the magic.
Yeah, that's a whole other part of the attachment system too. Is like you got the gloves, you got the auras. Like the gloves help you. Like it basically helps with your attack speed. So you can basically, as you strength train and you earn like strength points, those are points that you can put towards things like purchasing gloves. Like these stone gloves. Like those are what 10,000 strength points. I can buy those and then equip them, and you can see my speed is now just 1.5 attack speed. But I also got these void gloves, and that gives you 3.5 attack speed. So I can equip those, and then I'm going really fast. So those gloves, I got those gloves. How did I get those gloves? From I think I bought those actually. I got these like a while ago.
What gloves you gotta buy?
Yeah, you gotta buy them with Spatial coins. But they like not only do they like look dope, but like they just help you progress so much faster. I got them because I thought they looked dope, and then the speed was just like a byproduct of how cool they were. So highly recommend getting these Aura gloves because they look sick.
Yeah, I think they're the best gloves in the game. I think. Buzz down.
Yeah, they are in terms of attack speed. Definitely the highest attack speed. You have fire also, The fire gloves are fire.
Fire
Iridescent
gloves are
gold
Fire gloves.
fire. But the void gloves, yeah, basically
The
it's
stone
like
gloves are so stoned.
they're so stone.
So stone.
Is that gonna be a thing? So stone. Yo, that's
Yeah, like the ice gloves are so ice. They're gonna be like
Yeah.
the ice gloves are so cold.
these void gloves so void. We're starting new trends here, people.
No, for real, for real. It'd be sick if the visuals were separate from the stats because rainbow. LOL. Man, I also just love this like avatar. Like I love the Spatial avatar. It's like my fave. Looks good with
Oh,
the
yeah.
gloves.
It does. It suits him well.
It's like
Another
ready
thing
to
I don't know
punch.
if we mentioned is like the reason that you want to keep progressing to the different stages is because at the end of all the walls of each stages, you get more keys. So that's like one of the
right.
key parts of like why you want to get to the next level. Because like for the first level, I think when you break down all the walls, it's just one key. But then on the next one, it's 15 or 5 maybe. 10 keys. Goes from 1 to 10, and then by the end you're getting a ton more keys. So that's like big motivation to keep moving
I'm in
on.
the 3rd or 4th level now, and you get 500 keys when you get through all the walls each time.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm at 17.7 million keys at this point, so y'all got to catch up.
Yeah,
I
I know there's some people out there with like
More.
1 billion strength points and like 1 billion keys. It's absolutely insane.
You should like play that video of like the dude like hacking Punch Hero.
Yeah. That was actually pretty hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta find that. Try that out.
Like if you want 5 billion, what was it, trillion? I think if you want like a trillion.
I think you
points,
got
It was
him
basically
at 1 trillion.
infinite. Yeah.
Well, that won't work anymore. 'Cause-
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah.
You don't got you.
Alan Buzzkill, sure.
Patched.
I think Wonky's joining soon, guys. I just saw him get into the phone booth. He's waving at me.
Hey, he's waving. Should I add him in here? Wonky, hello.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
There he is.
What is up?
What's up, Wonky?
What's up? Yeah, good to see you.
How are you?
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to have you on the stream.
Awesome.
Yeah, everybody, guys, this is Wonky. He's also one of the devs on Punch Hero. We can give him a
Cool.
round of applause. For Wonky. Yes.
Thanks.
So Wonky, we were pretty much just talking through like all the goodness of Punch Hero.
Mhm.
And all the cool things Alan has built, from like the pets and the UI and like what different triggers were used to detect
Yeah.
punches and like how all this works.
Mm.
Maybe you could just start with like something that you really enjoyed working on for Punch Hero.
Yeah,
And I don't know, maybe it could be lighting, it could be the environment. But how that came to be and like what was one of your favorite
Yeah.
parts of building this game and why?
Cool. Yeah. So I'm a technical artist, right? So we worked with the Felipe, who is the awesome artist who just put all the level designing and all the environment assets in the Punch Hero. So what I did on this, like I wanted to change. So when you move from zone to the other zone, then you can see the lighting changes a lot, right? Sometimes it gets dark, sometimes gets reddish or brightish. So yeah, I put some. Yeah, I wanted to give some more impression that actually you move to the another zone. So I changed the lighting and all the post processing settings to give that impression. So
yeah, that's something that we talked about. It's really cool that you can walk to different areas and feel like you're in a different space. Like it feels like you're in a completely different like area. The tone is different. And I think that's what lighting does. It really affects the mood. And like Jake was kind of touching on this as well. Like in the cemetery, it's really dark and like spooky and like more glowy. And then you have like more, I think Jake said like fall vibes. And like other areas.
also Pelipad put some this kind of some tomb like this, so like for this night lighting. So it's kind of some level designing is also kind of some fit to the actual lighting setting. So
right. I think we have some questions. Someone said, how do you emulate this? Obviously, this, well, I don't know if you want to answer that more specifically, like how you kind of go through the lighting, but also, guys, there's like an entire masterclass that like Wonky, Jake, and Jack kind of talked about all of this. So like if you go to our YouTube and go to our live streams, they're all saved. So you're able to kind of go through all of like the lighting magician stuff that Wonky does with the toolkit. So if you have deeper questions on that, you're welcome to check out that video. Also, someone said, I don't know if you guys want to answer that question, Jake, if you see it. So does Spatial actually support GPU instancing? I don't know what that means.
Right. Basically, we are using the Unity's universal render pipeline, which uses the SRP batcher. It does kind of some similar to the GPU instancing. So I think you don't need to care about the GPU instancing. So if you kind of share the same shader, then the object will be batched. But still, if the objects are batched, but still the Unity will calculate each object transform to kind of some curling or some distance to LOD. So I think I still recommend to reduce the object count as much as possible. And then and Unity will batch the objects if they have some same shaders. So
Got you.
Cool.
So I hope that answers your question. Wait, so what exactly is GPU instancing? Sorry, so I can understand.
Sorry, for example, if you draw if there are some 100 cubes, in render pipeline, computers have some CPU side and GPU side, right? So GPU will does rendering stuff, but the CPU needs to kind of some core to render each object. So for example, if there are 100 objects, then CPU needs to call the rendering core maybe 100 times for 100 cubes,
each thing.
which impact the performance a lot. So what GPU instancing does is maybe if they have same mesh, then what CPU can do is I'll give this cube and you draw 100 times in GPU side. So then CPU only needs to call the drawing core just one time, and then GPU will draw 100 cubes at the same time. So that's kind of some GPU instancing works. Yeah.
Got you. Okay, that makes perfect sense. I hope that answers your question. Someone said, but instancing for mesh draw calls isn't a thing. I don't know if you want to click the question, Jack, so people can see it.
I think Wonky kind of covered that in what he was talking about.
Okay, cool.
In the answer, I think,
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Cool.
Wonky.
Nice. Awesome.
I have a question, Wonky, about the... I have a question about, so with the auras, when you were making those, that was that's something that you could obviously do with the toolkit, like in your own game now, right? If you wanted to give something an aura. So how did you kind of, what was your plan of attack for making that system, connecting it to the UI on the side, but still having it show up well in the in the game? And what was your artistic inspiration for the auras?
Right. So it's kind of item that boosts your speed, right? So actually the asset. So we are only we put some random names on the aura. So maybe we can call it a trail something aura. So as you can see,
there's Galaxy or SWAT,
Yeah, so there the aura names are rainbow, sometimes
Wait.
it's purple, or sometimes police. So what I did is police is like some kind of blinking red light and blue light. So I put some red and blue particles on the trail, so to make that feel. So yeah, it's kind of it was kind of some improvisation. So
Improvise.
yeah, I just made it with the random ideas, and if it
Oh, that's
if it
cool.
looks cool, then it will boost your speed more faster. So
Oh, it does. I immediately went and bought that flash aura right away, and I was like, I like this way more than regular speed. That's great. I think it's
Yeah,
awesome.
cool. Nice.
How now? That's so. I'm assuming the way that works is that there's a system that detects when you click on the aura's UI button, and then
Mhm.
like when you have enough strength to purchase one of the auras, it lets you, and then it just boosts your run speed. Is that through scripting? Visual scripting?
Yeah.
Okay.
They are all visual scripting. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
All right. Mm.
Yeah. And what I wanted to mention is like we have different worlds, right? Like each zone has kind of 4 different worlds, and we have 8 zones, which means we have 32 different materials for the entire environment. And so I needed to have kind of some 30 or 50 different PBR based war materials to prepare for the wars. So what I did was like I downloaded the different PBR textures from the website, but I needed to pack them into kind of some optimized PBR based shader. So I made kind of some the automate tool to pack all the PBR textures into a couple of textures. So yeah, I was able to save a lot of time by the tool. So maybe I have that the open public repository of the tool. So maybe I can share that for creators. So if there's anyone who makes some packed PBR textures, so yeah, there was one of my trick to make it faster, the environment and the punch hero. Yeah.
Nice. I think that'd be awesome to be something that we can, share with people. I'm sure that would be very valuable for plenty of developers. So that's a GitHub repository that they'd be able to like download and run on their computers.
Yeah, they can download the code, and yeah, they can use it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice. What's the best way to share that? Is that something that like do you want to share? Like I could put it in the chat if you wanted me to, or we could like
Sure.
post it later.
Yep, we can do. I just shared the link in our chat, but just I don't know how to share this to everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I can do that.
Cool. Awesome.
All right, so coming into the chat right now is a special tool from Milwaukee to help you pack your textures if they have PBR shaders, right?
Yeah, PBR, materials or textures.
Materials, yeah, textures.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll share that on
Thanks,
the
Monty.
Discord
That's cool.
too.
Do you often
Yeah,
make like little tools like that to help with like projects like automating stuff? Is that a frequent thing that you do?
Yeah, in case it requires a lot of some very simple automated repetitive things, then I usually make this kind of tool. So yeah, because it can save time.
Sorry, I can't hear you. The Siri on my computer is bugging out and thinking I'm trying to talk to her. So I have to turn off Siri. There we go. We're good. We're good. Sorry.
Nice.
Yeah, my bad. Siri attacked me right there. It just started talking to me out of nowhere. So I missed that, but I saw you talking. So thank you.
It's all good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good. My mic was. I've been having some weird problems too. I think Hawa was having some technical issues getting in also. But we'll share
Yeah.
that resource on our Discord as well. So if you're in our Discord, we'll post it there after the stream. If you're not, you should definitely join spatial.io/Discord and hop in. A lot of great developers out there building dope stuff. But I mean, let's get in here. Are you guys? I know Jack's in there. Wonky, are you in there? Alan, are you in there? Like, let's like, who's got the most points? I'm curious to see. I wish I could see how many strength points like you guys had. But I love a little punch wall challenge.
Yeah.
Up for it.
I'm gonna get in there right now. Punch Hero. I typed Punch Hero and it went into the Punch Hero marketing website.
Oh, there you go. You were just in here, Jack, weren't you? I thought I just saw you.
Yes, I was, and then I reloaded and it took me out. But I'm coming back in right now.
All right.
Because once I got attacked by Siri.
Got attacked by Siri.
Took me
I was
out.
getting attacked by Apple Music earlier too. Like earlier I was like I couldn't hear any music, just started blasting in my headphones. I was like, what the hell's
Nice.
going on?
Love unwarranted music.
Yeah.
Wonky, question on like the environment stuff with the like what do you do to make it so that all those like all the other areas are hidden from you? Like is that something that you like what does somebody have to do if they want to do that in their environment? Is it just simply like it sounds pretty simple, I think, just thinking about it. Like if you're in a certain spot, then hide all of these things. But is there like a proper way to do it?
Sorry, is it like
So now these like first 4 stages, like you can see, but then when you go through the gate door, then you're in the other 4 stages. But Jake was in the camera mode earlier flying around, but he only saw these first 4.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, because of the performance. So yeah,
Okay.
just turned off the other zones. So and also I separated. So in each zone, there are some different objects, like some like grass or some detail objects. So we also turn off the detail objects if you're not in that zone. So yeah, so it can reduce the draw pool a lot. So yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just kind of just distracting people from the outside of where you want them to be looking at. Nice.
Yeah.
Somebody asked in chat, Alex of Beaver asked, were there any ideas you all explored and decided to cut from Punch Hero, and what were they? So was there anything else that, originally you might have scoped in or were hoping to be able to make a part of the game, but weren't able to? And that can be for Alan and Wonky.
I mean, in general, like the goal for this game was like we had a really defined scope. Like we're making this really simple game where you punch walls and you get pets, and that's the end of the game. So like there's not like a bunch of prototypes or anything. It's like the stuff that's cut is like we could have made 100 more zones, but we didn't. So like maybe that's cut, but otherwise no. With like our future games, they're a bit more like game designed and like freeform. So like the game I'm making has a ton of prototypes that are deleted and stuff. So yeah, this game was pretty straightforward.
That sounds nice.
Well, do you guys have like a favorite, like Wonky, what's your favorite part of Punch Hero? Is it like the dragons? Is it the punching walls? Is it just like hanging out in your beautiful environments?
I think it's for me like auto punch stuff, so we can put it on the background and just check the numbers in 30 minutes in an hour. So yeah,
so you're just running it. You're running a separate computer, just having a guy punch for the last like 3 months. Like that's your strategy.
Yeah,
I like that.
I will admit I did that at one point too. Just having my guy punch for me and made me feel really strong. Like look how hard I'm working. This guy on automate.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
About how long was the development time for Punch Hero approximately? It was like a couple months, right? A few months, like start to finish, pretty much? Or like, I know there's some
oh my
stuff
God.
kind of after even it was released that we've been, fixing and touching up, but
Right.
like from the first day, it was like, let's do
I'm
this.
gonna see when we started it.
Okay.
It was a while ago. Okay. Oh, we started that on my birthday. We started it April 17th. And so, wait, April, how many months is that? What, 8, 1, 2?
Wow.
That's like
I mean,
4
we were
months ago.
playing it I feel like in July, obviously.
Yeah, so we finished it in like July, right, Walkie?
Kind of,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
The
Around.
last month has been like something doesn't work, we got to fix it, or like porting it to mobile and stuff. But yeah.
Cloud save.
And some of the work too, like was I think some backend stuff that's going to apply to the other games, like cloud save system and some other things too. So like it was kind of like start like for like the game, it's like for someone else like a developer like building the game like that doesn't have to worry about some of that stuff, like building like the core infrastructure piece, but like start to finish, I'd say like it sounds like it was roughly like 2.5 months from like the core gameplay, like from putting yourselves in the shoes of like a developer, from like nothing to like this like pretty in-depth game that has like a long amount of gameplay.
Yeah, and depending on who you ask, it was kind of done in like 1 week. So
yeah, the core like just the punching mechanics, the core stuff you could do in a week, and then all the little details took 2 months and 2 weeks or whatever.
What were some of the things that like, because we kind of had it in like a soft like underground launch the last month or so, like what were some of the things that popped up that were like, oh, that needs to be fixed, like in terms of like gameplay? Was there any major gameplay things? Or
the major ones were like cloud saves, so now if you play it on your phone and on your computer, they'll be the same save.
Yep. Nice.
And like, yeah, I mean, that's basically it.
Okay.
and the mobile UI.
Right.
Yeah. Building that out. Well, that's good that like other than that, really, then like the game worked as it is intended then when launched.
Yeah.
That's nice. I think I'm one stage over from you, Jake. Are you on how many keys are you getting every time you finish?
What is that? 1,500. I'm the first. This is the first stage after you go through the door. Second stage.
Oh, or did we? Yes.
Oh, it's gonna, even with my 15.5 million strength, these walls are giving me a little bit of friction. Not much, but like it's still a little bit. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you kind of, no pun intended, hit a wall in terms of how fast you can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been waiting to use that all month.
Yeah, totally.
Oh man, this looks. I love like just the aura behind it and like the lighting and stuff. Like this is just so pretty.
Yeah, all those crystals are so cool.
Yeah.
Then maybe we won't show the very, very end on the stream, or should we? Because I do like the celebration at the end.
I think let's keep that. People got to earn their way and find that. I don't know. I don't know if I want to like tease it. It's right there. I don't know.
It's right through that arch.
Should I? Should I not?
Nah, if you want to see it, go see for yourself.
Yeah. No spoilers here. You got to earn your way to be a punch hero.
Let's see if we can get Hawa back in here for the tail end. You there, Hawa? Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, but I feel like it's so choppy. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're coming through good right now. Or maybe we're choppy for you. Yeah, I think we're choppy for her. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
She hasn't earned enough strength and punch hero to get a good strong Wi-Fi connection.
You see me doing this right now?
Yep, we do.
Working.
All right, we'll try next time. Try next time with that.
Oh no,
Yeah,
it's breaking up again.
Ooh.
It's all good. Well, she can't hear that, so oh well.
It's all good. It's all good. But no, this has been really fun. I mean, I've been loving playing Punch Hero. I know we've had thousands of people come through and play Punch Hero already. I mean, this week is like the official launch of Punch Hero, but people have kind of discovered the game on their own as we were doing some pre-launch testing. Like thousands of people have come in, and now we're going to get thousands more coming in. So it's really, really awesome to see. So highly recommend like playing it if you're looking for something to do, and if you got some downtime or looking for some fun achievements to acquire, hop in a Punch Hero. Thanks, Alan and Wonky, for joining on the stream again. A lot. Give us some tips on Punch Hero and how you guys built it. If you have any more questions about like Punch Hero, like how it was built, or like you want some tips and tricks on like how to get through the game quicker, like definitely like post on Discord, like let us know like what you want to see more of, what you want to learn about. If you want to like get some hints on like some of the next games that are coming down the pipe from the Spatial team and the community, definitely hop in there. So yeah, I think that's it for today's stream. Unless Jack, there's other stuff, other questions. I'm not looking at the chat because I'm just playing. So
I think we pretty much touched on everything. Yeah. Again, thank you everybody that tuned in and joined. Thank you everybody here on the stream. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Punch those walls.
With that, punch out. I'm gonna punch out of here. Boop, boop, boop.
Peace out, all.